I'm going to show you one of the techniques that we're using to really boost reply rates with an awesome personalization that can be applied to a lot of different niches. So the way that this works is you firstly build a list of companies, and then you build a list of decision makers at those companies that you want to reach out to. And then what you do next is you search for new employees at that company who have been in the company for less than, say, 12 months, right? That's how you can get a decent number of people who are still relatively new in the company. And then you can mention their names in the subject line, which really gets people's attention, and also in the opening line. So I'm going to show you how we built this. We have a list of companies, then we have a list of founders at those companies. And then we create another list of new employees at those companies. So this one, if we edit the source, you should be able to see the inputs. In the experience section, you just need to put maximum months in current role, for example, 12 months. And then all of these job titles that we're using here are senior enough to be relevant employees, like they're not interns, for example. And also we're excluding all of the founders and, CEOs and those kinds of roles that we're not interested in mentioning, because those are the people we're reaching out to, mentioning these other people in their company. So once you've got this table of new employees and you've got your table of founders, in the founders table or decision makers table, what you can do is look up multiple rows in other table, and then you can pull in all of the people who are new employees from the new employees table. So this one has 4 records found, and you can see all of their details there. Then what we're doing is we have total new employees found. So whenever you do this, you get number of results. We just added that as a column. And then what we can do is a prompt that's basically just saying output all of the names of the people in these records who are different to the full name of this person here. So output all the other people's names, basically the new employees' names. And I said separate them with a pipe symbol. That's because some of them have certifications after their name, like, PNP or CPA or whatever. This person apparently is a GOAT. Congratulations to him. And so we're just using a pipe symbol to make it very clear that this is where one person's name ends and this is where the next person's name begins. Because if we were using commas, it wouldn't work too well, because a lot of people use commas in their full names in their LinkedIn profiles when they're saying, John Smith, CPA or whatever. So we have this. This is the list of all the new employees that is separated by a pipe. We output that as a parsed text-only column so we can see it clearly, filter on it, things like that. Then we have a formula step that's saying output the first 2 names in this list. And if you see a pipe symbol, replace it with the word and. So this one where they have 4 names separated by pipe symbols becomes the first 2 names with the word and. Okay. Now you can see in here, some of these are still not suitable for a cold email because they say things like, a maiden name in brackets, or CSP and certifications and all kinds of stuff that we need to fix. But we're on our way, right? We're getting there. So then we have a full name normalization step where we're basically feeding this input into the prompt and saying, you'll be given a name or 2 names separated by the word and you need to normalize those names, whether it's 1 name or 2 name, and only output 1 or 2 names. Do not output any sentences, blah, blah, blah. So then we get the new employees line normalized. So these are their full names, and you can see that they all read normally. And then we're using a formula to generate the subject line. So the subject line is basically just the new employees line, if we have new employees. Now, of course, not every company has new employees. So this formula says if first 1 or 2 employees normalized has values, return that. Otherwise, return randomly one of these other options. And so we're sort of like syntax spinning options to generate a subject line, even if there's no new employees mentioned. So These subject lines are really going to get the attention of a decision maker, as I'm sure you can imagine, because they know who these people are and they're going to think, what the hell is this email about? Why are they mentioning people in my organization? I'm curious, open. So that's what's going on there. And then we have an email one, paragraph one. So this is a custom variable that we'll push into SmartLead. So what this formula is doing is it's using the first one or two employees normalized, and then it is generating or is resolving the syntax to generate an opening line of a sentence. And if we don't have a first one or two employees normalized value, then it outputs a different syntax resolved sentence. Just say, you know, I looked at your company, or I found your company on LinkedIn. Looks like you're doing some great stuff, whatever it might be, right? So this is a really great personalization that you can use in your cold email campaigns because it's just so attention grabbing and curiosity provoking. So I encourage you to try it out and see what kind of results you get. If you found this video useful, like the video, subscribe to the channel because I have a ton more content just like this coming soon. And if you're interested in having us help you to generate a consistent flow of qualified leads for your business, then click the link in the description below and book a time to talk with me, and let's see if we can help you out. Until next time, speak to you soon.